Welcome back to our next video where we're gonna create your story. You know, no matter where you are in your story process, you are in the perfect place to start. Let me just talk to you very quickly about the importance of a story. Before we can start to build that brand, before we can start to influence people, we have to be able to figure out what is it that we offer? What is it that makes us special and unique? And then that can be the centerpiece. Think of it as a centerpiece at a table, or the foundation of a house, or the inverse pyramid, right? Before we can even think about anything else, we have to think about who are you? Who are you and what is your story? So that's what we're gonna do. I've basically been able to deconstruct your story into several different steps, and I want to use this video as kind of a guide. And I'm going to give you some time to fill in the answers to the questions that I'm going to ask you, and I'm also going to provide you very specific examples of what my thing looks like, so that if you're just stuck and you're like, I don't even know what this guy's talking about, you can actually look at my examples and you can replicate them in whatever way that means for you and whatever parallel you can draw to what you're trying to do. So I hope that makes sense. So let's just jump into it, right? Question number one. I think the greatest talent or skill I possess is, and I'm gonna have you pause this video in a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna have you pause this video in a second, but before you do, I wanna write out what mine is for you so you can actually see it on the screen, and I'm gonna say it to you so you can start to hear it as you think about what your answer to this question is. I think it'll be helpful for you to hear mine. So my answer is, I can synthesize massive amounts of information and create a concise and exciting summary of that information. I can very quickly get to the heart of a product or service or the essence of what makes you as a human being unique. So my friends, that's my message. That's my essence. That's what makes me better than most in the world. What is yours? Go ahead and take a pause and write it out right now. All right, cool. So question number two. What are 1, 2, 3, or as many as you can come up with examples of times that I've used this skill or talent to help someone else? Again, my friends, I'm gonna have you pause this in 1 second, but before you do, I wanna give you a practical example of what it looks like in my case. Remember, what I was best at is synthesizing messages, getting to the heart of the product or service, or the essence of a human being, and then I'm able to consolidate that into a concise and compelling message. How that's valuable and who that's helped, I'm gonna tell you right now. Number one, I've worked with over 100 startups to help them raise $500 million of venture capital because I've been able to help them tell their story in a concise, compelling, exciting way that really captures the heart of the value that they're adding as entrepreneurs to the ecosystem, to the economy, to their potential users. Number two, I've been able to take a lot of information and synthesize it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10-minute talks for Mayor Bloomberg and his administration. Number three, I've been able to start a digital media and communications company that focuses on helping you tell your story as a brand, whether it be through oral, through written, or through video content. And we've been able to work with some of the best brands in the world to have insane results around how do you capture a message in the fastest time possible, in the most compelling way possible, exciting all of the people around you, whether that means creating press, or that means selling a product, or that means getting more users. So now you have that list, right, which is question number two. So now I want you to ask yourself, which is question number three, what tangible result or results have occurred because of my work with those people, right? Let me give you an example. I told you that number one for me was startups, number two for me was Mike Bloomberg, and number three for me was different clients that I've had at A Life in Shorts. What were the results? Here they go. For me, they were with those 100 companies that I've advised, with those 100 startups that I've advised, we've raised $500 million of venture capital funds, right? So because of the messaging, because of the synthesizing, because of me helping them get that product or service or idea into a really cool story that they've pitched VCs, they've been able to raise $500 million. Tangible benefit. Number two, Bloomberg speech writing and Bloomberg election. Because of my ability to tell the story about why Mike Bloomberg would be a good candidate for mayor, we were able to recruit 600 volunteers in about 4 months. And because of my ability to do speech writing, I was able to write dozens of speeches for the mayor's administration over the course of a couple of years, which influenced policy, which in some cases changed laws, which in some cases started initiatives that helped thousands and hundreds of thousands of people across the 5 boroughs of New York City. And number 3, with my clients at A Life in Shorts, I've been able to run video campaigns, content creation, and communication branding strategies that have led to international press, that have led to millions of views on videos, that have led to more and more sales that I can trace quantifiably through increase in revenue, through increase in sales. Those numbers are easy to come by. So what I want you to think about right now is the power of data, my friends. The power of data is everything. What is speaking in data that 500 million for you? What do those 600 volunteers look like for you? What do those policy changes look like for you? And what does that national media attention and increased sales look like for you? Those are my examples. I want you to pause this video and think about what tangible benefits have you brought to the people that you've served with your talents. And finally, question number 4. If I were to take my answers to questions 1, 2, and 3 and turn them into a 1 to 2 paragraph description, what would that paragraph or paragraphs look like? Right now, what I'm trying to get you guys to do is I'm trying to get you to think about what is that value? To think about what is that thing that you do? Let's pull it all together, right? So if you think about what my paragraph would sound like, it would sound something like this. I have the talent and skill to quickly and concisely make your message sound as exciting as possible. Because of that, I've been able to work with 100 startups, as well as the mayor of New York City and his administration, as well as some of the biggest clients and cool entrepreneurs across the world to help them tell their story in a way that sells, to help them capture that message and that story in a way that sells. And because of that, I've been able to help 100 companies raise $500 million. I've been able to help the Bloomberg administration capture 600 volunteers and change policies. And I've been able to help my clients increase revenue by 15%, get 15 different publications to pick up their story, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. My friends, that is what you have to think about. How can I combine 1, 2, and 3? And this is what we call your strength stack statement. Your strength stack statement, which is going to be what we're going to be playing with in the next video. So take some time and think about, if you were to describe yourself, your skills, your talents, your abilities, what you've done with those skills and talent and abilities, and the result of that thing that you've done, what would it be in 1 to 2 paragraphs? Take some time and jam on that. In the next video, we're going to talk about what you do with that. Thank you for watching. Keep jamming.